Hi everyone, Sarah here. I have this week's project to share with you for the Not Too Shabby shop. I was using the Sweet Sloths from the My Favorite Things release. I have the stamp set, and then I also did purchase the dies for these guys because, excuse me, it die cuts out in between their legs that are hanging down and this one here on these two. So I thought that those are really good intricate dies that make your image look so much better when it cuts out that little spot on the inside. So that one is definitely a must. This is the only one where it doesn't cut out, but that's because there's a small space in between. So I have the Copic coloring for you that I will attach. Coloring up these guys, I used Copic markers on Crafter's Companion paper. Just stamped them out and colored them. Stuff all over my desk right now. So there's the stamp set. I will link that down below in the details for you. Now for my cards, I made some very simple shaker cards. I used a lot of stuff from my stash. Losing my voice here. This is some wood grain paper that I had. It was 8x8 that I purchased a long time ago, and I believe it was from one of my first ventures to Tuesday Morning when I was gone to one of the scrapbook expos in the States. So I decided to pull out this paper and use it. So I have just these plain white cards. For my card fronts, I just cut the wood grain paper and used one of the dies from my stash to cut out this scallop to make my shaker. So I have 4 cards that I have made to share with you. I made some belated birthday cards because I do have some to send out. So inside the shakers, I just used some sequins and these little tiny beads, which were purchased from Michael's ages ago in the $1.50 section, just these seed beads. So I used some of them finally. So all I did was, the background was sponge it with some Distress ink, just very lightly on the card base. I just used white card bases from Michael's and added in all of my goodies and used my thick foam tape to go around the shaker area and then also to hold up this. I embossed the sentiments on black cardstock, and I did use the Lawn Fawn. These were purchased from the Not Too Shabby shop also. The Lawn Fawn Everyday Sentiment banners. The medium size one is which one I used. Just in black. Cut off the side and added on a button with some twine from my stash. So they're just shake up there. I added some pattern paper and a die cut on the inside and used the sentiments. So this one says happy belated birthday, and then on the inside, slow down and enjoy your day. So I did make 2 of those. Excuse me. Still fighting this cold. So this one has the blue colors. This one I focused on the pink on the inside. And I did add in some multicolored flower sequins on the inside of this one with the blue button, and then same thing on the inside, just a different pattern paper. So those 2 are the belated birthdays, and then these ones pretty much can be used for anything. I use the sentiment, you're my favorite person to hang with, so I put the 2 sloths that are hanging. And then on the inside it says thanks for hanging on to me. So this could be used for Valentine's Day, or it just could be a thank you card. So I have 2 of those, pretty much the same colors. So they turned out super cute, very nice and fast and simple cards. Again, I am attaching the Copic coloring to share with you guys. Now I did have extra images like I showed there originally. So the challenge over on the Not Too Shabby shop this month is to make rosette sticks. And this is my first time making them. They're not totally complete yet, but I just thought I would share. So I just picked some scrap Valentine's paper that I had and cut it in strips, scored at every 1/2 inch, and then used my, it's a Martha Stewart border punch that just has these dots on it. And I used, there were, I want to say like 2" by 12" papers and 2 strips to make this full rosette. And these are just the paper straws from Michaels. I got them on clearance for 50 cents from Christmas, but they're good, different colors to use. So I used my hot glue gun to form the rosette and then stick to the straw. And basically what I did was I pinched the edge to make it thinner and then stuck it inside of there. And then I made some, or die cut some hearts just from my stash. This is a paper tray ink heart, and attached on the sloths here. So they're super cute. I'm gonna pick out some ribbons and laces and stuff to attach here, and possibly add a tag in also. So they'll just be like picks, or I don't know what everyone's been calling them. This is my first time making them. I have 2 more that I have to decide what kind of images and stuff I'm going to put on. So that is my project to share with you this week. Any comments or questions, please leave down below. Thanks for subscribing, and have a great day. Bye. Okay, so I have some Copic coloring to share with you. It's been a while. I have my images stamped on Crafter's Companion paper using the Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink. I'm just coloring in with my Copic markers. For this branch, I used E25, E59, and just a tiny bit of E49. Now, I've been having issues with a lot of my brown markers kind of gunking up on the paper. It's hard to explain. It seems that the ink is a little bit thicker and just kind of sits on the paper, and then that makes it look really, really shiny and hard to blend in. So what I did after I colored these was I had watched a couple videos from Sandy Alnock on Copic marker maintenance, because I was thinking maybe I needed to replace the nibs on them, because I know they didn't need ink. They have ink in them. So I wasn't too sure, and she had one video where she had suggested cleaning the actual nibs in the Copic blender solution, just putting a little bit in a plastic bag and then sticking the tip of your marker in and massaging it. That seemed to work wonderfully. So they don't seem to be doing it now, but you can see they did do it a little bit on here. For the green leaves, I used YG17, G28, and a little bit of G29. The G28 and 29 are pretty close together, so it didn't make a huge difference on the coloring, but it did add in a little bit of a darker tone. So I did go through and color all the leaves using the same color. For the middle of the flowers, it's just a tiny dot, so I just used YR21 and a little bit of YR14. So basically colored it in with the YR21, just dotted it down, put a little tiny line of the YR14, and then dotted again on top to help that blend through. Again, it's a tiny space, so there's not much for you to work with. For the flowers, I just wanted to pick a neutral kind of color. I didn't want to go too crazy, so I picked the light pinks, the R20 and the R22. Just to add in a little bit of color. So then I'm just going to go through and finish off the colors for you guys, and then I'll leave some music for you to listen to so you don't have to listen to my voice. For the faces of the sloths, on the inside, like around their eyes and around their mouths, you can kind of see that circle area. I used a lighter brown color, so I used the E31 and E55, just a little bit of shadowing on there. For the eyes, I just used E33 and E99 just to make it a little bit darker. And then for the rest of the body, I used the E33, E37, and E99. So use all 3 colors and kind of picked where I wanted the shadows to be. yeah, so E33 and E99 on the eyes. And then the rest of it was E33, E99, and E37. So that's it for the colors. I'll leave you to watch the rest of it. All of them were used, I used the same colors, but I'm just showing you the one sloth just for simplicity. Again, any questions or concerns, please leave a comment, and thank you for watching.